Oh, which one? Which one? Right or left? Right or left?
Right. Right is always right.
Right's always right. Yeah.
And
Whoa! What the fuck? What the fuck was that?
pressure. If you don't know what pressure is, it can basically be summed up through doors, but underwater. Never has a Roblox game made me want to end it all than pressure has. I'll say it right here, right now. Pressure is more harder than doors.
But Brian, doesn't that mean you just fucking suck at the game?
And to that, I say yes. But how can pressure be more harder than doors when it's basically the same premise? They got doors, rush, and love making their whole game dark for some reason. Well, one game I was able to beat in under 10 tries, and the other one gave me everlasting therapy. If you play doors, the first thing you'll notice when playing pressure is how different the level design is. For the most part, some of the rooms in pressure are basically just doors, but when encountering pressure's own unique rooms, that's when shit gets real. One of these differences being the large gaps between doors. Like, holy fuck, man. In doors, you'll be in and out of rooms quickly since the doors aren't that far apart from each other, but in pressure, doors will sometimes be just so fucking far away. And for no reason too. You could be door 9 just entering a normal door, and then all of a sudden you see this huge ass base in room 10. It gets even worse when this thing comes and attacks you while you're in one of these huge ass rooms. Since when attacking, he makes the whole room dark. Now you gotta deal with getting to the next room in the dark. Do you not know how painful that shit is? It's also because of these long ass rooms that this game takes over an hour to beat. Since doors doesn't have large rooms like pressure does, doors can be beaten in roughly under 30 minutes. And even worse is the fucking underwater levels. Now when playing doors, I got all the monster shit figured out in roughly like 3 games. Once the lights start to flicker, you know rush is coming, and all he does is rush through the hallways. And you know when ambush is coming, since ambush and rush have different noises. But in pressure, instead of rush, we have this guy. Now this fucking guy gave me so much PTSD, bro, when playing this shit. Now what the angler does if the lights start blinking is he rushes through just like Rush does indoors. But he can also come from the front and also come in whenever the lights aren't blinking, and also can come back and forward, and for some reason can just spit out acid out of his mouth and just can go super fucking fast whenever he wants. And that's because the angler has 4 different variants. And I didn't know this, and I kept wondering how the fuck the angler kept getting new super fucking abilities and shit. Like, here's my literal reaction to finding out that there's like different variants of the angler. Brian, he's coming, Brian, he's coming, the monster's coming! Rush, music. Oh wait, what, he goes back? What the hell is that? Brian, my heart's beating for some reason, I don't know why. He's coming back! What the fuck? Shut up!
Maybe I should listen to the guy to see what went wrong.
The angler, what? It's the same dude again?
But Brian, how couldn't you tell that they were different? They clearly have different designs, you fucking idiot.
And to this I say, whenever he shows up, you literally can't even fucking see him. And the room being dark does not help at all. Like, look at this and tell me which version of the angler it is. You literally can't.
But Brian, every angler has a different sound to it. Are you like fucking deaf?
And to that, I literally can't hear a difference. Except for the brown one. I can hear a slight difference after rewatching the clip. But other than that, yeah, I don't hear a difference. It may be my old age and shit, but, you know, I can't hear it. Other monsters in pressure is this fat ass fish, which is basically just a more harder and annoying version of Eyes. This tentacle monster. Screech, except he attacks you when your flashlight is on. This giant ass robot. Whatever the hell this is. This guy makes me want to kill myself. And this guy. But there's one monster I have yet to talk about, which is this thing. Indoors, when you reach door 50, you're introduced to the figure. But in pressure, when reaching door 50, nothing happens. Unlike doors, pressure doesn't have an expected door 50 boss. Instead, it's just randomly dropped at you whenever the game feels like it. Now for the real question. Which is harder? The figure or whatever the hell this is? I think the figure is more harder than pressure's mini boss. Even though this video is titled Why is Pressure More Harder Than Doors? Indoors, the room is really small and tight and you're stuck there with a monster that actually chases you. While in pressure, the monster just goes in circles and is really easy to avoid. But the ending boss is a completely different story. Now, before getting to door 100 in doors, you have to go through door 90 and 100, which is considered to be the hardest set of rooms the game throws at you, as all the lights are now off, which was basically the main source of how you could tell when a monster was coming. These traps on the floor when stepping on one is basically a game over, and Rush being 2 times more aggressive during these last 10 rooms. But once you make it to door 100, you face figure one last time, collect the 10 buttons, and win. Now pressure. The endgame of pressure is the whole reason as to why I wanted to make this video. Now pressure, there is no 10 hardest rooms the game throws at you before getting to door 100. The game plays as normal until you make it to door 100. Once you make it to door 100, you go deeper into the facility and see the crystal for the first time. You grab it and congratulations, you just beat Pressure, is what I wish I could say. Once you grab the crystal, this is where the real shit begins. Now Pressure does the 10 hardest rooms that the end concept doors did, but amplifies that shit to the max. Instead of the 10 hardest rooms before reaching door 100, there are 20 hardest rooms after you reach door 100. I think. I'm not gonna count all the rooms. That means after you get the crystal, you still gotta do more of this shit, bro. In the dark, mind you. Now, I don't know if the game told me this, because by the time I made it to door 100, I was like so sleep deprived. But to all the new players out there are 4 doors out of the room where the crystal is located. Now, 3 of these rooms have monsters that could kill you. And I didn't know this, so when I got the crystal and entered the first door I saw, I died. After that shit, I gave up on the game and just searched up what the ending is, because I am not gonna do all that shit again. After you beat the 20 rooms of hell, you finally beat Pressure. What I would say if I didn't look up the ending. To my surprise, when I clicked on the video, I realized that I wasn't even halfway done with this game. Because after facing through the 20 or 30 doors of hell, I don't know how many there are, right? I'm not gonna count all that shit. You have to beat the final boss before beating the game. Basically the same thing Doors did. Now, the final boss is basically exactly the mid boss when you reach around door 50, but instead of you being on the ground, you're now underwater. And instead of 1 big ass fish, there's now 3 of. Now, which one is harder? The Doors final boss or Pressure's final boss? Like, do you see this shit? And if you somehow were able to do this shit, you finally beat the game. And have my respects for going through all of that for this shitty ass ending. You're telling me a game that has beautiful environment, amazing animation, offers just a text ending describing what happens after you make it back up to the surface? Now, what I'm guessing here is that I think this is a one and done project for the devs, because if they really wanted to make a chapter 2, they would have added some sort of hint insinuating a chapter 2 to build some hype. And if that's the case, I can see why they didn't really give the ending much thought. Besides, the story gives a satisfying conclusion to the story, even if you don't see it. You're a free man now with PTSD, with what you've been through, and the end. I can see this game getting more expansion updates, but besides that, I think Pressure's done, unless they do go with a totally different storyline for Chapter 2, but I highly doubt that. Now, if Pressure does come out with a Chapter 2, I'll definitely go back and try to beat Chapter 1. Now, for Doors, I was able to make it to door 100 easily. Once you memorize everything the game throws at you, door 100 is basically no problem. But Pressure, I wanted to die. Like, this is me before getting to door 100.
Recording.
Ah, watch out! Oh my god, Alex! What the fuck was that?
What was that? What was that? I started running away.
And this was me after making it to door 100. It's right there. Yo, I'm low-key getting goosebumps, yo. I don't care, just give me the door. This crystal is literally 12 o'clock in the afternoon. I mean, in the night. Is it gonna be an easy 100 doors? Now, if you enjoyed the video, I don't recommend to subscribe, because this isn't the type of content I do, which is mainly gaming videos. I don't normally make commentary videos, and the only reason I did this video was because I wanted to, and because the gameplay was just us suffering. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Oh fuck.